So the European Vaccine Action Plan was established and endorsed by all 53 countries in 2014. It runs to 2020, and it was basically developed so that it could provide us with some momentum and some political buy-in for immunisation, to put vaccination and immunisation back on the agenda so that we could get the countries on board, so that we could have a joint set of goals and objectives that we could collectively work towards.
I'm really looking forward, especially to all the vaccination hesitancy issues and how to tackle them and solve them, because that's really an issue we have now in Belgium.
Well, I really like the emphasis on how we can take forward positive action to support our national programme managers. And of course, one of the most important messages is about making sure that every child has access to this really important service.
Yes, it's already started with a bang, this conference. There's clear information about the momentum of effort that's going on in the European region, but also the scale of the challenges, and in particular the individual countries where there are very great challenges emerging around immunisation coverage.
Well, I think immunization is one of the best investments in public health. So there's no question and doubt about it. There's enough science, enough information, knowledge, experience. The issue now is to implement it fully. And that requires political commitment to have strong and correct evidence-based policies, strategies, a good implementation, and of course, most importantly, the resources to be able to have all these in place.
The start was so fast and so impressive.
Yeah, we've seen progress with the European Vaccines Action Plan on measles and rubella elimination, and that goal, for example, where we have 80% of the countries in this region having successfully interrupted 2 diseases. That is remarkable. That requires commitment, that requires strong surveillance, that requires strong capacity at a national level, and it requires a lot of dedication. I hope they'll be taking away the experiences of other countries. I hope they'll be taking away examples of projects that have taken place in other areas of this hugely diverse region and applying them back home in local settings, because this is all about local implementation.
From the beginning, from the open sessions, I understood that vaccine hesitance is the most important now for all the immunization programs.
So the tip session, or the tailored immunization program session, was about under-immunized populations in the European region, but actually all over the world, and the ways to confront this problem or to solve it in a way, to raise immunization coverage rate.
Actually, what works is when parents receive information they are looking for.
I'm extremely glad that our discussion on polio issues during our program managers meeting took place today on the World Polio Day. And the main topic of the World Polio Day is that we're closer than ever to the world without polio. The European region has been polio-free for 15 years, since 2002, but the risk is always there.
Yeah, once we reach this 5-year conclusion of this plan, we will have a new roadmap or strategy for the region. And we've already started thinking about that. We're getting ahead of this game early so that we can learn from the experiences of this action plan and apply what we think we need collectively in the region amongst the member states in the future in the new plan.
I mean, scientific evidence about the vaccines and experiences are always welcome, but the practical thing, the thing that we are lacking in our formal education, has been addressed today in a proper manner, and that's what I really liked.
We discussed with colleagues a lot of actual problems And one of the most important problems is anti-vaccination campaign. Even though the vaccination coverage in Kazakhstan is still high, we do believe that the anti-vaccination campaign is going strong.
Especially the panel debates on the vaccine hesitancy is definitely something I will take back and use in my daily life.
Hepatitis B vaccination is complicated and there are different strategies. And I think we got a good impression on that.
Anti-vaccination campaign is using a lot of sophisticated methods to reach parents. That's why the actual dialogue between the medical community and the patients is very important.
I think the discussions around the hepatitis B it was particularly interesting, and I think it's also inspired not just me, but I think the countries that are actually coming from the developing countries of the region.
It's vaccine hesitancy, it's adverse events following immunization, it's a safety of vaccine, and we will be able to be more clear with society.
The things that have been developed to help us how to approach parents. I think that all the anti-vaccination movement people would be very helpful.
There has been such a good feeling at this conference, and there's been so much interactive work.
I like the topic we had, and I like the opportunity to share experience.
This meeting was very important, happening at a critical moment, and I believe that all participants are leaving the meeting with the same impression. There is also a lot of work to be done to ensure that all our citizens, adults and children are safe from vaccine-preventable diseases as a way towards a sustainable future.